This is going to sound real rough after coming after that last set, but I have mixed feelings about Pride Month. Because, like, on one hand, you know, go gays. But, like, on the other hand, it means that Asian American Heritage Month is over. And honestly, I'm just jealous that the LGBTQ community has way better marketing than us. Like, just once, I want to see a company change their logo to, like, a bowl of rice and a Harvard acceptance letter. But, you know, I can't be too upset. As an Asian, I do feel somewhat represented during Pride Month. After all, the Pride flag does have a yellow stripe. I've actually been feeling extra Asian recently. I think it's because I stopped drinking water, so now my pee is also yellow. But I am very proud of my Asian heritage. I was actually born in the East, in I guess what you would call a third world country. In my language, we call it New Jersey. Which roughly translates to, I wish I was in New York. I grew up in a pretty well-off neighborhood. It was a neighborhood where my friend was rich enough to own a golf cart, but not rich enough to live near a golf course. And so growing up around a lot of rich people has kind of made me self-conscious that I might come across as privileged. Like one time, I was on a date with a girl, believe it or not. And out of nowhere, she goes, you know, I've never met my dad. He left when I was 3 years old. And, you know, not to be outdone, I responded by saying, oh yeah, well, my dad forced me to learn piano. Your dad couldn't be there, my dad taught me B major. It's the only time I was ghosted during the date. But my parents put a lot of pressure on me as a kid to succeed. I remember one time they made me go take a standardized test to see if I was a gifted child. Not to brag or anything, but I breezed through that test so fast that my parents had to come pick me up early. Yeah. And then when I told them that I finished with an hour to spare, they got mad at me. Turns out they didn't want to see that I was a gifted child. They just wanted me out of the house for 3 hours. Also, not the only time someone's gotten mad at me for finishing too fast. But that's a whole different kind of gifted children. I did fail the test though. It turns out I'm not a gifted child, which sucks extra hard because I took it last month. But my parents expected me to get straight A's every single semester. Basically, they taught me to treat anything below 90% like poison, which is why to this day I still only drink rubbing alcohol. But I remember I came home once with a single B on my report card. And I think my mom would have preferred I came home with a pregnant girlfriend. Because, you know, a B is a B, but getting a girl pregnant could at least count as an extracurricular. But I get why they were so tough on me. They used education to immigrate here to the United States. They said that the hardest part about immigrating here was actually learning English, which makes sense. Because, you know, you have to learn like 3 other languages in order to understand English. Like for example, the word kindergarten is just straight up German. Like, touche is just French. And I learned from my parents that disappointment is Chinese. Anyways, that's all the time.